So this is a really awesome photo book that pretty much lays out our journey here at Hub 101. It highlights people in our community, beautiful moments. So when the fires broke out and we had to evacuate the building, this is pretty much the only thing I grabbed from here. Hub 101 is a community startup center. It's a space where people that are here in our region can come bring ideas to life or grow existing businesses with the help of mentors and awesome people. Wednesday night, we're here working at Hub 101 and we start seeing in the news that something happened at a local nightclub named Borderline. 12 people murdered, including a sheriff's deputy, when a gunman opened fire inside a Southern California bar that was filled with college students. They were line dancing. It's their college night, so we knew that a lot of our students were there at the venue when the shooting took place. A lone gunman came into the venue and opened fire on the crowd. And a lot of our student population were at the venue that night.
A number of the people who we've been speaking to outside here had black X's on their hands, which means that they were below drinking age.
So that Thursday morning was a day of mourning. It was a very somber state. We had a chapel on campus that was going, and we had grieving counselors on staff, and it was just a very somber environment that Thursday morning after the shootings.
As we mentioned, that fire is raging near a community that is mourning the loss of 12 people gunned down at a bar filled with college students. Hundreds of people gathered last night to remember the victims of Wednesday night's shooting.
So we get back to the space, and a friend of mine he's like, "Hey Greg, do you know that your neighborhood's being evacuated right now?" And I'm like, "Wait, for what?" And he's like, "There's these fires coming in to our region." I didn't think much of it. I was emotionally drained from that entire day, and a neighbor called me, and that's when I knew that things were serious. This angle, the fire started back here in these hills and just came over these hills here, crossed the 101 freeway down there, and then just made its way all around. So that night, about 1:30 a.m., we wrap it up in my community, helping people get out safely, and put out a story inviting people, hey, come spend the night at Hub 101, that's where I'll be. If you need a place to crash, roll through. So we came in, fired up some coffee, and we became a refuge for people that first night. Granted, we're surrounded by an evacuation zone. We're not in it, so we're open tomorrow to everyone in our community that needs fresh coffee, community, and Wi-Fi.
A really, really serious situation out here, very dangerous. There's also, as I mentioned, not only flames there, but behind us as well. And so
I don't know what it was, but everything was under mandatory evacuation but this particular corner. And so my attitude was like, let's keep the Wi-Fi on and the coffee brewing, and let's give people a place where they can come, catch their breath. At this point, people didn't know if they lost their homes or not. So that Saturday morning when we woke up, that Friday morning, people left the space, and now at this point the fires were coming in through the backside. But yeah, I was sitting out here watching the fires coming down from the top of that mountain, wondering if I was gonna lose everything. So the fires came down along this tree line here, and as you can see, Hub 101 is right there, and it totally wiped out our neighbor's fence. I'm sitting here at Hub 101 and I hear a chainsaw going off into the distance, and I run over there and I see the mayor of our community, Ned Davis, out there with a chainsaw, cutting trees down, protecting homes. And so at this point the fire started coming down this ridge line here. So we held it back till the fire department came, which was really cool because in a weird way we helped protect our neighborhood and people we don't even know. That immediately synced in of, you know what, that's the attitude at this point. This is my community. Let's pretend the fire department's not showing up, and like, let's take action.
You just feel this need to want to help. And that's where my motivation is, you know?
Might lose my office. I might have lost my house, but here we are. So at that point, I loaded a shovel in my car and went up and down Agora Road, helping put out hotspots, which was quite an adventure. And what led to that was I'm driving down Agora Road, headed to Hub 101 that Saturday, and I see 4 shadows in the distance along this fire line. And I see that they're not official, they don't look like fire department people or anything like that. So I pull over and I see that they're just normal people with shovels fighting this fire. So I jump out of my car, run across the street. I notice that one of them's a lady. I grab the shovel from her and I'm like, go find us water. And we're literally at the front line of this fire, like putting this thing out as it's coming down upon us. So this was that field where I met those amazing people who helped save our community. I asked these people, like, why were you risking your life for this fire? And they were like, you see these homes back there? Yeah. They're like, we clean those homes. And you see those businesses across the street? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, we clean those office buildings. And if they burn, we don't have work. At that point, our community immediately mobilized and was there to support each other in any way. We became a haven for people to come check their Wi-Fi, come drink our coffee, come hang out, come fellowship here. The fire department was in the middle of the fire doing their thing, but out here in our perimeter, we didn't see any of that presence. FEMA came in and did their thing, issued checks, but at the end of the day, it was the community that was there, giving people places to crash, providing warm meals, providing internet access for that person who just lost everything. So at the end of it, it's like we have to be there for each other. From this tragedy, I got to meet the people that are a few doors down from me. And now it's a whole different level of relationship, which is really cool to be a part of.